Okay, I was not planning on recording this because as you can tell, I my hair is soaking wet. I just got out of the shower, but as I was in the shower, I realized like I just kept getting these messages and it was like you have to go record something right now because you are just entering such a powerful energy and I never usually like start going into messages before I've actually pulled some cards or kind of tried to like see what spirit is trying to say, but this message was coming in so clear that you have taken a major leap. Like you have recently taken a major leap, and I'm hearing grief period. There was a period of maybe a few weeks or something like that where you were really kind of grieving this, and there were of course ups and downs as there always is with grief, but there was something here where you were taking a minute to really process everything that happened and like let this decision settle in. And for some of you, this decision was like very visceral, right? You left a job, you left a financial opportunity to do something different. You left a relationship to choose something better for yourself. But for a lot of you, it wasn't quite that like physical, but there's a huge shift in energy. And for the people that it wasn't that physical for, like it was a mindset shift or it was like a heart opening. Like I'm really seeing like a little like cellar door, like one of those like old like oval like round kind of like wooden doors, like the creaky old kind that you would find in like a really old church. And that, but seeing that on your heart, like on your heart, and it's opening, right? Which is such an interesting visual, and I wonder if that like resonates, or maybe some of you have been traveling in like Europe or somewhere where this old kind of symbolism makes sense. But I wanted to kind of pull some cards on this and like give you some guidance about this, because this is not about the closing, this is not about the path ending. Like you have been there, you've done that, you know what that was about, and you know what you were saying goodbye to. And you weren't saying goodbye to something, you were saying yes to something else. And because of that yes, you knew that there was a I'm seeing like a key locking a door. You had to lock one door and open up another one. But like the one that you are locking, I'm feeling like cold. I'm feeling like gray, right? Like this, almost like this gray area, like gray matter in your brain. You were closing the door to like just logical decisions, right? And for a lot of you who are leaving like the financial opportunity, there's always that voice in the back of your head, right? That's like, I need stability, like everything's wild, I need to have some sort of control, right? But then you also are like in the knowing that that is an illusion. And for a lot of you who were in a relationship and you had to say goodbye to that, it was like it also made logical sense to be in it. Maybe you had just a life that made sense together. You had built community. You'd built like this kind of surrounding and this life together. And so it felt almost, sorry, there's like a hair stuck on my face and I don't know where it is. But you had this thing, this life, this experience that you'd built together. And all of a sudden your logic is saying like, well, this all makes sense, so we should just make it work. But your heart is saying like, there's something different, there's something better, there's something more, there's something I want that this is standing in the way of. But there was a shift in your heart, in your mind, where everything in your life, while there wasn't like a close and shut of something, there was a massive letting go and like a full shedding, like a full erosion of who you were before. I'm seeing like a pebble, right? After thousands and thousands of years being like eroding and being kind of brushed up under this like wave, this pattern of water. And finally you're kind of coming out to be the rock that you are, the pebble that you always were. It's shaped you, but you're also choosing something different, right? And so that manifested in actual physical changes in your life. With I'm seeing like a saturation go up. So it's like everything in your life, it's the same things. You're at the same job, you're in the same relationship, you're in the same place, you're not moving cities, but everything feels brighter. You're connecting to everything differently. I'm seeing like a web of connection around you, right? The people you know, the places you go, the things you experience, and I'm seeing like a strengthening of cords in the right places. And this is for you because you have made decisions for this collective. You have made decisions over and over and over again that have led you closer and closer to this path. And that's why these cords that you have are already present, but they weren't strong. Like they had this dull, brittle energy. I'm seeing like breaking hair, right? they had this brittle tether because you weren't nourishing enough. And I'm seeing like this light, like you're in this web and everything's kind of, it's there, but it's brittle. But I'm seeing this strong light. You were so connected to source and you were connected to your intuition, which was what led you in the places that you are now. But there was so much of a focus, a dissociation, and a focus on the spiritual that you weren't as grounded. And now you're taking this moment to ground and to push out, to push that energy that you've been receiving from above, from within, out to your community and to what's going on around you. Wow, that was so much that really, like, it really needed to come out. I'm seeing rainbows. I got the Knight of Cups and the Magician in reverse. This is interesting. This is telling me that what you said goodbye to was standing outside of your power. I'm seeing like a giant pentacle in the ground. Actually, I was on a hike a long time ago in the middle of absolutely nowhere, this like desert town in Colorado. And I was walking in the woods with my boyfriend and we stumbled on this giant pentacle in the ground that had definitely taken more than one person. And I'm seeing that, but I'm seeing you standing outside of it, right? And actually, ironically, when we saw that pentacle, sorry, it was a pentagram. I keep saying pentacle because I'm thinking of tarot. It was a pentagram. And as we saw it, we were crossing this little like small bridge because it was over kind of a ditch. And so that I feel like is really sticking out to me because you're seeing your power, you're seeing everything you can be, you know it, you consciously feel it, but you're outside of it still. And that's the Magician in reverse. You have these tools, you have these things around you, but it's not quite coming together. And with the Magician in reverse, we can also run into things like manipulation. I'm not so much, well, maybe actually for some of you who were in those kind of close and shut, maybe the financial opportunity was with someone that wasn't quite aligned. Maybe the relationship was dealing with themes of manipulation. So that's coming up for sure. But also a feeling of manipulating yourself, right? Letting yourself within your own thoughts. I'm not like blaming you for someone else's actions. I'm saying like you were having thoughts and then convincing yourself out of them, or you were having kind of a weird relationship with yourself where maybe it was just denial, but because of that denial, you were not letting yourself really see what was going on in front of you. And then the other card that came out too was the Knight of Cups upright. So I'm seeing, this is interesting, but water is really coming up for me, like the visual of water. Maybe this is kind of the water that I was seeing that was pushing that pebble again and again. Like, okay, yes, your emotions wouldn't let you go. Your emotions were pushing and pulling you, and that mental kind of like jumping around, that mental gymnastics I'm hearing, like you were oh wow, this is tying into the logic, the closing the door on that. Okay, let me like process this to be able to explain it better, but you're closing the door on that logic thinking, right? This water, your mind was constantly tricking you out of what your heart knew was true, but your emotions would not let it go. Your emotions kept taking you back in these cycles over and over again and I keep kind of doing this movement because I'm feeling like these waves, literally, like I feel like I'm the pebble and the waves are constantly like pushing me against this shore, this kind of rocky shore. But, that and the fact that the rocky shore is coming up too, right? Earth and grounding, but you not being fully grounded because you're getting submerged again and again in these deep emotions. And so even for you, the collective of the not visceral change, but the active kind of connective change, in that you were connecting to your intuition, you were getting to some of the right places, but you also were submerged in your emotions over and over again. You were unable to think clearly in a way. And so that weathered you, literally, it weathered these connections. You were in the right places, but you weren't able to nourish them. Like I said, I'm literally seeing a Pantene commercial every time I think about these cords, and I see like the before image of like the breaking brittle hair, right? And then the later image, it's like nourishing this thread, right? It's nourishing this hair and making it stronger in the after picture. And so there's kind of a sense here of this weathering, these emotions, not letting it go, that there was something deeper, there was something bigger, or there's a bigger way to live life. And that's what you're saying yes to, right? A second ago, I had a card in my hand. It was the Seven of Wands. And that's also telling me that you are constantly in this energy of when is it going to happen? When are things going to feel easier? How is it all going to work out? The how was so big for you. And that's another piece of the logic puzzle, another piece of you shutting the door on the how not having to matter as much as the connection to the thing that you're doing. And with this, you realize that it's not about what you're saying goodbye to, it's about what you're welcoming in. And this final admittance to yourself and this lack of self manipulation, where you're able to say, I have to have this thing because my heart is calling for it. My emotions are calling for it. And I can no longer have this thing because, I can no longer have this thing because this is in place, right? This relationship, this financial opportunity, this blockage, this mindset, this behavior, these habits. I'm hearing laziness, which is weird because I really don't like that. Like, we deserve rest, but I'm hearing for some of you, like it was your own creativity that you were stopping yourself from. You weren't quote unquote lazy when it came to working for someone else or for someone else telling you what to do. But there's like a few people where this is going to relate, where that grayness was towards yourself. And finally, you're opening the door on saying, you know what? Are you able to see this thumbs up? I hate that. Okay. You're finally saying yes on, I am moving forward. I am choosing myself. I'm saving my energy and using it for my creativity, my creative projects. And then with this Seven of Wands too, just this feeling of helplessness, again, this standing outside of your power, right? I just got the Page of Pentacles. So, this very grounded offering, and I'm hearing rooted in your service. And with the pentacles connecting to earth as well, that element is really present. And we have water, fire, and earth here too in this reading. And then the Magician, which is like the culmination of all of them, right? The magic, the power, the tools at your disposal. So I'm really loving this kind of, actually, this is alchemy. This is alchemy. Wait, the pebble is alchemy, the erosion, all of that, but you are alchemizing too. These emotions, you had to put them up to fire. You had to light fire under yourself, but also you had to light fire to the water. And that was painful and that was harsh and that didn't feel good, but that's what allowed you to connect back to this earth energy, right? You had to not get so upset and feel drowned by your emotions, and that ended up turning into passion. You turned that sadness into motivation to create what you're creating. And this is the offering that you have, your love, your connection. I also just saw 511 on the timer. I've been seeing a lot of 11s, so that might resonate with you. And then of course on the 7, there's Roman numerals here. So the 5 and then the 1-1. I just pulled the 10 of cups. It fell on the ground, so I don't know if it came out upright or in reverse, but I'm hearing upright, but I'm going to pull another card for clarification just so we know what Spirit's really trying to say here. But I was seeing rainbows at the beginning of this reading. And okay, Ace of Swords. Yeah, I feel like this is upright. The rainbow that I was seeing at the beginning of this, it's what you've created. I'm hearing passion. I'm seeing the word passion inscribed into a rainbow. You had to fight so hard, but everything you're walking into is a life of passion. It is a new work or financial situation that is leading from passion, that is able to connect that passion to others. That blockage in your relationship is allowing you to take back that love that you had and give it to somewhere more fruitful. I'm hearing fruitful, bountiful. Wow, this is so beautiful. That, that emotional, mental, physical blockage, you are able to take that in so many different directions and fully strengthen things, right? The Ace of Swords coming up as well, truth, you seeing the truth, and the Ace of Swords being so, the Ace of Swords being so connected to logic and you closing the door on logic being the thing to stop you. This is your resurrection. These came out together because this is your resurrection of your logic, you being able to use your mind more clearly because you're wielding the sword of your intellect and of your thoughts towards the passion that you have, towards the growth that you want to see. And that is so embedded in your community, in this outpouring of love and the strengthening of these cords and connections that you have that are intuitively guided, that you are here to make massive change. And you had to alchemize your own self first for you to alchemize the people around you. 3 of Pentacles, I saw that in the camera as it came out, and that is just even more of a confirmation and even more of a sign here of community, of strengthening these connections with people around you, and of doing so in a really grounded way. But I'm also hearing for a cause, for a good cause. I'm going to get a couple of just last confirmation cards and any advice from Spirit. Wheel of Fortune and King of Cups. Like, I cannot tell you, I'm sure it's being conveyed right now, like how powerful. Oh my God, I keep burping. It's always the confirmation burps. How powerful this energy is. Like, I hope you can feel it. And I feel like it's already what's been guiding you. But I think this is that extra motivation for you to get really excited. Like, you have I'm hearing put the putsch in motion. Like, what? But you are putting this in motion. You have gotten the ball rolling. You have pushed into a new dynamic, into a new, I'm seeing like the color wheel, right? The Wheel of Fortune and the color wheel and the rainbow all together. Like, you are going from this place of feeling so stuck and so heavy, and you are able to move forward. But this massive leap that you took, this faith that you had to strengthen something, to leave something behind, that is now being met with co-creation. The universe is now taking your decision, your action, your impetus, and pushing you in the direction that you need to go in. And so the King of Cups is also reminding us that as we see these things unfold, first of all, do not lose your compassion to the outside world. Do not get lost so much in your own individuality and what's going well for you that you forget that connection, because at the end of the day, this is all about service. This is about how you can be of service. But in that feeling, not only are you fulfilled, but you also are someone that someone else is strengthening the cord with. Someone else is also in service to you. So you're actually not losing anything. You are gaining so much, and you already know that. You already feel it. So the King of Cups also is here to remind us. And with the 10 of Cups, the King of Cups, the Knight of Cups, like, your emotions, again, this heart center just keeps coming up. That open door to your heart and to your heart space is the key to unlocking your future. This energy, I'm hearing ride this wave, but it's like, I'm hearing this is the new current. You are that pebble that's been up against the shore over and over and over again, 10-10 on the timer, closing out that cycle and stepping into this new cycle, this new this new beautiful energy of connection, of love, of service, of joy, of passion. Do that through this, not just through this heart space, because I know I've kind of already said that, but through this feeling of being held, being supported, being in love, right? Like, be in love with your whole life. Be in love with your community, with where you are, with the flowers that you see, the nature that's blooming around you. Like, be so in love and hold your heart open even as the waves kind of come crashing down. But with this river analogy, it's now coming back. You were up against the shore for so long that now there's a new current under you. And you're kind of rolling through this river, through this current, but the current that's under you is this co-creation with the universe. You have chosen the direction that you have wanted to go. You finally have let go of being smushed against these rocks, stuck between a rock and a hard place. That was literally you. And you have let go of that. You have chosen the direction finally that you want to go towards. And Spirit, universe is pushing you, flowing with you, moving with you through this new path, through this new passion. And it's going to feel so much easier and so much lighter because you are fully aligned. You are fully in joy. You are fully in love. Oh, God, I love this so much for you. This is heavily resonating with me as well. And I'm sending you all so much joy and so much compassion and just so much gratitude for the work that you have done, because you don't get to hear enough gratitude and people don't give each other enough gratitude for the work that they've done. But every moment of your pain, of your past that you have alchemized and turned into this energy is work that you are doing on behalf of the collective. But again, it's time to not disengage from this source, because you're always engaged with source, but to re-engage with what's around you, with what's physically present. And as you're this pebble that the current is moving and moving and moving through this river, you are going to be present with more animals, more energies, more people, a new cast, right? A new cast of people in your life, new connections. But the point is not to be so attached to any of them, but instead to enjoy the presence that you have with them, to spend time with them, to be in the present moment of time with them. And I'm hearing such a call to be present right now. Put your phone down, put YouTube away, put the shows away, and connect with each other, and connect so deeply and so fully, because that is what you are here for. So that's the energy I'm going to leave you with. I cannot wait to hear from you. Let me know if this resonated with you or what you've let go of. I'd love to hear more of your story and just what you are claiming for yourself. And outside of that, if you want a one-on-one reading, I am still doing one-on-one readings through April. You can even book into May, but I have hour-long and half-hour-long Zoom sessions where we can sit like this on Zoom online and just connect with each other and spend time together, and for me to read your cards and feel into your energy and let you know what spirit is wanting to tell you. And if you want something a little more on the go, I also have voice note readings where I send you a voice note. You can keep that voice note and listen to it anytime you need to, and you can just focus on one specific question or one area of life or even one piece of general advice that spirit has for you. Just saw 1414 as well. And my last plug is that actually two more. I have a podcast called Becoming Enough, all about being the black sheep of your family and the self-worth journey that comes with that. And I also have self-worth coaching sessions for you if you are wanting to sit down for an hour and work through a blockage that you have, or get to the final piece of letting something go, or even map out how you can get to where you want to go and shatter any sort of limiting beliefs or imposter syndrome that you have that's standing in your way. So I hope to see you soon. All of my details are at blacksheepexperience.com. I love you.